Hello, this is Lucas Gartner of Mr. Holden's game design class at URA Charter Academy, and this is my horror game project in Unreal Engine 5. So we start out here in a dark room, some spooky music to go along with it. We have these little collectibles here that you pick up as you move on. A few of them are a little bit hidden, but most of them are just in the way. Have a bit of a scare there, and this is the really creepy room. One of these pill bottles hidden off here, little platform you can walk on. So, how these eyes work, as you can see, they look at you as you move around. They have an arrow which tells them which direction they need to look, and in their event graph here, which is where all the programming's done, it's actually pretty simple. So, whenever an event tick happens, which is how a tick is how the game measures time. It's a time frame that is usually pretty small. So every tick it's updating, which looks pretty smooth. So it gets the player pawn, which is you, and it gets your location, and it finds you, and it looks at you. It sets the rotation to look at you. And that's about all there is to it. And then I have this other code here, which is whenever you hit the play button, they all change to a different scale. This gives it a bit of a more natural look. So if I fly over here, and we look at all of them, they're all the same size. But whenever I hit the play button, they all change to different sizes, and I'll look at you. So, next thing I feel like I should show you is these pill bottles here. They hover up and down and spin, and whenever you touch them they make a noise, and your counter in the bottom corner goes up. So how those work is, these are a bit more complicated, but here's the viewport. They have two boxes here. One pretty much just tells them where they should spin and hover around, or it's their end location, so they hover up to it and then hover back down. And this collision box is what you'd run into to pick it up. So it's based on a timeline here, which is what moves up and down and tells it to move up and down. And then in here, right here is the spin. This is what makes it just spin around. This is probably the most simple part. And then up here, when it begins playing, it gets its location, it gets the start location of it, and then it gets the end location of it. And it puts in that timeline, which tells it to move up and down between the start location and end location. And then over here, this is what lets you pick it up. So it casts to the first person character, which is your player, and it sets their score value +1, which is what makes that counter in the bottom left come up. And then it destroys itself, and it plays a sound. So the next thing to talk about here is this box right here, which sends this flying towards you and plays the sound. See, it's pretty simple how I did that. All you have to do is run into the box and it sends it flying. You don't even have to be there. So the box does something called a impulse on this. This is just an object. You can push it around and everything if I don't touch the box. But then if I touch it's also very light. If I touch that, then it goes flying and teleports me. So to find these trigger volumes, which is what these are called, you need to open the level blueprint, which has a bunch of settings here. So all in here is just the various trigger events that happen, but this one is the one for the IV drip. So it takes the IV object, it sets it to only do it once, otherwise it would go flying and be very loud. And all it does is it adds the impulse, which throws it for 10,000 power in that direction. Then it plays the sound, and then there's a bit of a delay, and it teleports you. And that's about it.